Hello there and welcome to the channel Honest Reviews of Everything. My name is Danny and thank you for watching today. Today is a day I know a lot of people have been looking forward to. I myself have been looking forward to it too as well. Today I get to give my car, which is a BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe, a proper run out, and I'm going to bring you along for the ride as well. I've had the car around about 6 weeks now, and all I've done is plodded backwards and forwards into town, done a little bit of shopping, but today is the day I finally get to take it onto a bit of dual carriageway, open the old girl up and see what she can do. At this moment in time, I left my house. It was glorious sunshine. I had visions of doing all these fantastic panoramic shots, but I've got to my destination and it is blowing a gale and it is pouring down with rain. Typical British weather, but I'm not going to let that dampen my spirits. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to head to the Humber Bridge. Currently, I'm at the Humber Bridge car park, which is below the bridge. I'm going to go through different food driving modes. To start with, to get to the bridge, which is about 3 or 4 miles driving, I'm going to go in Eco Pro mode and I'm going to see how that feels as I'm driving. As we go over the Humber Bridge, I'm going to change that to the Eco mode. And then on the other side of the Humber Bridge, there's a stretch of dual carriageway, which is probably 6 or 7 miles long, where I'm going to open the old girl up, let some of them horses loose and stick her in sport mode and see what she's all about. So bear with me, this is all completely sort of like off the cuff. I've not realised anything. If I make mistakes, so be it, but I'm looking forward to this. I hope you are as well. I'm sure you'll be able to tell from my reactions that I've got this big smile on my face and I can't wait for you to experience this as well as myself, and I'll talk you through as much as what I'm feeling as I can. So let's give it a go. Let's head to the bridge. Okay, so quickly before we start, I did mention I'll be trying out the different driving modes, and the 3 different ones are down on there. I will show you what each of them looks like on the digital display as we click through them, and as I do the test drive itself, I'll talk you through how each one of them feels. Currently we're set up on the Eco Pro mode, which on the digital display has everything in blue. I'll click through onto the comfort mode, which is just there. That's the one I tend to use day to day when I'm just plodding around. Or the exciting one, Sport. Never driven in sport mode yet, looking forward to it, and I'll see what it's all about. Let's get to it, shall we? Okay, so we are heading to the bridge. Let's go. So as I said, we're currently in Eco Pro mode. This is sort of like, I suppose, the cost-saving aspect of this vehicle. Like I said, the miles per gallon, I'm doing quite well on it at the moment. I'm getting around about 40 miles a gallon just plodding in and around town, which is respectable for a car like this, I suppose. One of the first things I do tend to notice when I'm in Eco Pro mode is that the throttle definitely isn't as responsive as the other 2 modes, as in comfort or dare I say sport as well. It's definitely got a little bit more lag, but obviously that is just the car trying to optimize the performance and conserve the petrol, I'm assuming. As I'm leaving underneath the bridge here, like I say, there are roadworks all over the place. I'm waiting to see whether or not the Humber Bridge has got any roadworks on it. It does tend to always have roadworks, but we shall wait and see. There we go, traffic lights, fantastic. I mean, I've lived in Hull now, I suppose, for coming up to 20 years, and I've always had a real enjoyment of driving over the Humber Bridge. I don't know what it is, it just makes me smile. It's sort of like a great feat of engineering, I suppose. It'll be quite interesting to see whether or not there is any roadworks on there. There always seems to be roadworks. 20 years I've been driving across there. I can't tell you the last time there wasn't roadworks on the Humber Bridge. This isn't fun, sat in traffic lights, but we're off. Here we go. Again, that laggy response on the throttle as we're in eco mode, plodding down on the Hessel foreshore, should I say. Sorry about that, I had to change positions of the cameras. It was a bit of a pain in the backside. I thought it'd stay still where it was, but from the looks of things, it isn't going to. So we've moved more central, and let's head to the Humber Bridge. One thing I do like about this car, with it being front wheel drive, as you're going around corners, I'm sure a lot of BMW and rear wheel drive car people can relate to this. I prefer myself to be pulled through a corner rather than pushed. It just feels a lot more secure. I had an old BMW 1 Series before, and that was rear wheel drive, and I'm sure any BMW driver will tell you as soon as you get any sort of snow on the ground, it can be a right pain in the backside. The traction is not the best and you tend to go nowhere fast. I'm going to leave you for a few minutes until I get to the Humber Bridge, because there's quite a lot of traffic and you don't just want to hear me droning on about nothing. When I get to the bridge, we'll then talk a little bit about the next sport mode that we're going to change into. Even in Eco Pro mode, it does have still a little bit of something there. I don't know if you noticed, I heard the engine revving a little bit. I had to jump lanes there just simply because of the fact that I was having, well, I got in the wrong lane unfortunately, but yeah, there's still definitely something about it, and it seems to be a pleasure to drive. Like I say, going around these corners, it is just a really good feeling. Car responds really well, grips to the road, no real issues at all. Onto the Humber Bridge. So we're going to be changing up modes very shortly. I'm going to switch it down to the comfort mode and see how that feels. I shall get my card ready. Humber Bridge is currently only card for obvious COVID reasons. Very quiet in this car at the moment, with neither one of those two back there or the wife in here either. Here we go. See if the bridge tolls change. £1.50 I believe is what we have to pay. So let's get in the queue and get that done. I'm going to change it now into the comfort mode and see what difference that makes. Camera's a lot more secure now. I had some teething issues, shall we say, with it jumping and bumping around and falling over, but I seem to have found the prime position at this moment in time. There we go. Let's get the windows down and get this paid. Morning. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, have a great day. Oh, I think I dropped my card somewhere. I'll have to find that on the way back. I don't know where that went. Okay, so switching onto the comfort mode, instantly I could tell straight away the difference. The car feels a lot more agile. As you put the foot on the throttle, it responds nicely. And I don't think I'm actually saying this, but I can see no roadworks on the Humber Bridge. This is some sort of miracle. This never ever happens to myself. There is always roadworks on the Humber Bridge. But back to the car. In a few minutes time we're going to be unleashing the M Sport mode and seeing what this girl has underneath the hood. 0 to 60 is 8.7 seconds. This is powered along by 134 brake horse, as well as 162 pound of torque. Top speed I believe is 134 miles per hour. We're not going to be getting anywhere near that today, but I am looking forward to actually getting out of fourth gear and putting my foot down and seeing what she can do. Currently on the Humber Bridge, pouring down with rain, and I spoke too soon because we're now coming up to single file traffic, and yes, there is roadworks. I wasn't to be disappointed. As I mentioned earlier, I really like the driving position of this car. There's been a lot of negativity around over the shoulder and sort of at the rear view space, but I have two car seats back there at the moment and I can see perfectly I'm low to the ground, I can see all my surroundings, there's no real issues at all, considering that my last car was a 4x4 and I'm used to being a lot higher up. This particular car, although low to the ground, has a great driving position. I really like it a lot. Just concentrating a bit here because the traffic's starting to slow. No one really behind me, so I can start to slow her down, and we'll open her up and see what she can do in sport mode. I'm not going to be going too crazy because it is pouring with rain. The roads are going to be a little bit slippery. But we're now coming off of the Humber Bridge. And coming onto this nice little stretch. And there we have it, a traffic officer sat right down the bottom there. So, admittedly, I'm only going to be doing 70 miles an hour because that is the law. But there he sits, waiting for those unsuspecting people. And here we go. So, sport mode. Let's drop it down a gear and give us some gas. $60, $70, and there we are. I don't know if I'm imagining things, but the steering feels a lot lighter. Also, as you would expect, the accelerator is a lot more responsive, and almost, I don't know whether something's happened to the suspension. There's a little bit bumpy going back there, and it just feels a lot more firmer, stuck to the ground. And would you believe it? That's the end of that. I've now come off the Humber Bridge, and we're now looking at 30-mile-an-hour roadworks. I'm going to cut for a little while, and on the other side there doesn't seem to be any road work, so I'm going to find a slip road, and hopefully we can I just don't think it's meant to be for myself. I'll be back. Okay, so you literally couldn't make my life up at the moment. All that excitement around building up to finally get out and put my foot down, it lasted all of about 10 seconds whilst I've just gone through so much roadworks. It is ridiculous. Never experienced anything like it in my life. One of those sickening feelings, but hey ho, it is what it is. We're still going to have some fun. We're going to get back onto the motorway shortly, and hopefully, finally, I'll be able to give the car a proper run out. And here we go. We're in sport mode, and we've got our foot down, and off we go. This is what I've been waiting for. A stretch of road, no one about, and we're off. I'm going to enjoy it whilst it lasts. Great power. Really enjoying the smooth ride. Like I said, the sport mode definitely does something different to the suspension. It feels a lot firmer. Steering, very agile. Zipping in and out there, I don't know if you can tell. And as soon as you put your foot down, woof, it's off. And this is all coming from a 1.5 litre petrol engine, which I think is quite remarkable, really. And what you want your car to do when you put your foot down, you want to make you smile without being terrified that it's going to kill you. And this car doesn't feel like it's going to kill me, but it definitely makes me smile, which is what I suppose driving is all about. Bit of traffic up ahead, but that's still fine. I've got a couple more miles to go. Let's go outside of here. Oh, lorries pulling into the fast lane should be not allowed. It's for everybody's fun. Come on, move over, mate. I love how comfortable the car is. Obviously I talked about the driving position, but this seat just hugs you in all the right places, holds you, and as you put your foot down, it doesn't throw you around. There's not a lot of movement at all, and it is exceptionally comfortable. I mean, I've not had a chance to do a proper long drive as of yet, but I would imagine it's going to be a very comfortable long drive. Some cars after a while everyone gets the horrible backache and you're fidgeting around in your seat and you're just like, oh, woe is me. I don't think it's going to happen with this particular car. Let's drop it down again and see if she goes. Yeah, she's going. Better slow it down a bit. The crazy thing is, you don't feel like you're going that fast because it's so quiet here in the cabin. I know the rain's clattering down on the windscreen, but it is an exceptionally quiet drive. You put your foot down, the car goes, no fuss whatsoever, and you don't realise before you know it, you're going at the speed that you should be doing, or there or thereabouts. So we're now coming back onto the Humber Bridge. That's about as fun as it gets for me. Like I say, this test drive, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, whether it be the weather, whether it be the dodgy camera work, whether it be the cameras dropping, or whether or not it be the road works, which we're now hitting more of on the Humber Bridge. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll do a little talk about video in a couple of minutes once I get parked up, just to give you my final thoughts on my first experience of putting my foot down in the car and what it means and what I suppose that'll do. I'll speak to you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back home now, reflecting on what just happened. I suppose it is rather funny. I'm sure Jeremy Clark, sort of people like this, don't have to deal with roadworks and dodgy cameras and all that sort of stuff. But what is important is that I got out and gave the car a little bit of a drive. I hope anyone who watches this sees the funny side of it. I will try and do another one shortly, perhaps a little bit more in-depth review. But yeah, as I suppose reflecting on the actual car itself, I absolutely truly love it. Like I said, it's a fantastic piece of kit. It's really, really enjoyable to drive. And as I said during the video, it makes you smile. Now that is what is really important when it comes to a car. You spend a lot of your time in it, driving around, you have it for a good few years. And if it doesn't make you happy, doesn't make you smile every single time you get behind the wheel, then you're driving the wrong machine. This car here that I'm driving makes me smile, and that is all that matters to myself. So thank you very much for watching. Like I say, my name is Danny, honest reviews of everything. A bit calamitous today, but still enjoyable. Please like, subscribe, any comments, put them in the box, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Mine's been great, and would you believe it, it's stopped raining and the sun's coming out. Just about sums it up. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.